Hello and welcome everyone. We will continue talking about the topic we had in our previous video, and that is student life in UK and how to settle and get used to it. Let's talk about settling, starting with the university. As per most universities requirements, some prepayments are always required, semester fee or some other fees as well. So you won't have to do those hassles and works when you arrive. All you need to do is get to the admission office, get your university profile completed, get these important documents from them, and you will be able to get started. The first document would be university ID. After your passport, this will be your utmost important ID. Some uni has RFID which needs to be kept with you to get in and out, and also to access university facilities like library, archives, etc. But if yours just a printed ID, then you can keep the original at home and carry a copy of it just to keep it safe. The second one would be course fee slip and confirmation letter. Remember, you need this course fee slip or acknowledgement paper to know your course details. That will include your classes, faculty details, building names, and where the classes will be held, and also other details. Sometimes if you drop or add a course, they will require the slips to change your details in there, to charge you further or to refund you, whichever applies. The third important thing is to get the proof of address letter from your university. The admin over there will issue you a letter of proof of address which will be required for your next steps in order to rent a room, house, flat, or to open a bank account, to take a bank card, or even to get a contract SIM. This proof of address is required everywhere. The fourth one would be GP letter. This is very important. As a valid student visa holder, you are entitled to NHS facilities like free doctor checkups. Medicines might cost extra, but the doctor's fee is included there. So make sure to get your GP letter and get to the mentioned GP and get yourself registered. In case if you get sick, you can call your GP and you will be given a date and time to go see the doctor. Oh, and GP stands for general practitioner. It's usually a registered NHS doctor. The next important thing is to get your national insurance number. This is another extremely important document. Your university will issue you a letter with your details, which then you can use to get your national insurance number. You need to call the number given and get an appointment. Then you need to go to attend the interview, and a national insurance investigator will interview you, and then they will give you date to come collect your document. Your national insurance card will also be linked to your IRC, home office, and other profiles. When you work, your payslip will also have this number in there, making sure you're legal and obtaining state benefits that's allocated to you. Now that we have covered to do the things you need to do at your university, let's get you settled socially as well. The things you will need to make sure: number one is a place to stay, second is bank account, third is food, fourth is clothing, 5 is utilities, and 6 is travel. So let's discuss them. Okay, the first thing to focus on is a place to stay. Well, dormitory or dorm as we say is in most ways is the best option for a new student, as it offers all the necessities. However, they are often very expensive. So if that's not a valid option for you, then what else is there? Well, there are two options. One is paying guest. It's a very common concept in London and in most other major university-focused cities. You can find a lot of advertisements, a few major websites like Gumtree, Rightmove, and a few others. I'll mention a few of them in the description. The best way to get cracking a bargain is by taking some appointments in one area and go see them all together. Get their offers, but don't fix anything right away. After you have seen a few offers, then you can come and compare and then confirm. Oh, and one more common practice there is that most rooms comes with all utilities additional payments included. Rents can vary from 200 to 500 or even more depending on the area, size and facilities, but make sure to discuss if all the amenities are included to avoid future issues or extra payments. Being a paying guest can be a bit tricky as you will be sharing common spaces with even landlord, such as living room, kitchen, shower, backyard, etc. So discussing the house rules and ways saves a lot of future issues. Also, shared utilities can be an issue too if they're to be paid additionally. The next option would be renting. Renting a house or flat with friends, university mates, is another popular choice. This gives you the freedom to leave as you choose to. Let's say you have two other friends and you three want to rent a small house. You can use websites I mentioned above and have some viewings and compare and then finalize like we spoke before. Remember, bargain is always encouraged, but if you really like a house that is in your range but the landlord is offering it unfurnished, then haggle more, because most properties in UK are usually offered furnished, and as a student it's always better to have less items to carry when moving. Also remember, when you rent a house you will need a substantial budget to get it living worthy, which includes utilities, common items of the house, internet, cleaning, cooking, council tax, etc. etc. However, if you go to your local council and submit the student proof and the address letter given by your university, they will exempt you from it, but it may need to be submitted with each contract renewal. Now, let's talk about bank accounts. Most banks accept student accounts but don't expect good interest rate. Some even offer interest-free student overdraft facilities like Lloyds or TSB, and some other bank offers some startup credit cards too. But I would highly advise not to take any credit card in first year. Having a steady credit score helps in the long run. We will discuss further about it in another episode. It has a lot of potentials to be discussed. You will need your passport, your letter of residency, proof of address, and a letter stating why you want to open an account. Having multiple bank accounts helps in keeping the spending in check. The banks I would suggest are Lloyds, Barclays, HSBC and TSB. They have branches all over the country and very helpful too. We will discuss how you can beef up your credit score in details in another video. A high credit score can let you rent a bigger property, buy property, or do a lot more. Then comes food. In either setup, be that you are a paying guest or renting a house alone or with your friends, cooking at home is the safest and most economic way for a student. You can live off shelved or frozen foods, but you will do a big favor to yourself and your wallet by learning to cook. You can get cheaper groceries from big chain malls like Asda, Tesco, Sainsbury's, M&S, and if you want ethnic items like halal items, then corner butcher shops will be the best place to go. There are many areas to focus on region-based items, like Southall has a lot of Indian local items, Whitechapel has a lot of Bangladeshi items, Hackney has African regional items, etc. etc. Next comes clothing. The infamous English weather is notorious for its unpredictable nature. Days are long in summer, sun sets around 8-9 p.m. and rises around 4-5 a.m. Ouch, I know, right? On the other hand, winter nights are long and very cold, and days are extremely short. Sun sets even at 2-3 p.m. midday, and some days the sun rises around 8-8:30 in the morning, and there are some really cloudy and foggy days. They can be extremely thick at times, so pick your clothing based on individual needs and make sure to stay warm. You can find cheaper or very reasonable priced items in Tesco, Asda, or even in Primark. They offer wide range of clothing. Next comes utilities. It plays a big role if you rent. Both gas and electricity can be very expensive if you don't keep things in check. It's best to use prepaid meters to keep a firm hand on your bills. You can top up the cards and keys from any local or 7-Eleven or even corner shop. And the last part that comes to mind is traveling. Traveling around the city can be tricky if you don't know how to navigate. Mastering the tube map is your utmost importance, like I said before as well. Then knowing the bus routes will be a very handy tool. Know that tubes run from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. on weekdays and finishes early on weekends. So plan your journey accordingly. Also, remember to register in your local library, community places, and register for vote. They all help you being a sociable person and helps you boost your credit rating. And as I already said, having a solid credit rating always comes handy. Alright, that's about it for this video. Let's finish talking this particular topic in our third and last installment of this series. Till then, stay safe, have a happy new year, bless you all.